In the world of comics, one can find a variety of high-energy scenarios within a story. An action-packed fight scene between hero and villain, the sweet, tender love between two hopeless romantics, or even the tragic death of the hero's best friend. However, what if this expectation was turned over its head, and we're left to indulge in something more mundane? That is where we introduce the slice of life genre. The name is pretty self-explanatory. Slice of life is a genre characterized by the ordinary. For instance, the protagonist's morning routine before he goes to work. In essence, it's a genre that explores the human experience. Common tropes within the slice of life genre include the characters within the story going about their everyday lives, a lack of conflict that serves as escapism more than realism, and an emphasis on the moment rather than the narrative as a whole. Two popular examples of comics under the slice of life genre are the American classics Garfield and Peanuts. These comics are successful in their genre, as their short storylines allow for readers to appreciate life for what it is. For Garfield, it's the idea that we're following a cat and his average life with his owner and any other people and animals they come across. For Peanuts, it's about kids being kids, going to school and having their own adventures outside of it. Being that these comics were found in newspapers back in the day, it's hard having to digest the conflict the daily headlines provided. So these comics take away from that by showing something more peaceful. However, comics aren't limited to just one genre, to which I'll discuss the differences between slice of life stories. I will use JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Scott Pilgrim as examples. These comics are more action-based, as the protagonist of both series has to fight their own villains, but they mix that action with slice of life to allow for a more realistic, enjoyable narrative in worlds with supernatural phenomena. Take JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, for instance. Fans know it as the intense series where the JoJos fight with their elusive stands, but this idea is temporarily taken away in Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable, where we instead look at the adventures of the protagonist, Josuke Higashikata, and his friends as he's a high school student, while still having to figure out the mystery in his town. My favorite arc in this part was how they dedicated 5 chapters just to show how Josuke and his best friend Okuyasu go out to eat at a restaurant. And finally, Scott Pilgrim. This is the comic series I'm currently fixated on, which follows the tale of Scott Pilgrim, who found the girl of his dreams, but has to fight her 7 evil exes in order to date her. Even though this story has action within it, it certainly has more slice-of-life elements compared to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Some examples include how Scott and his roommate, Wallace, go out shopping for groceries, or how Scott and his friends go out to eat at restaurants. I see a lot of restaurant scenes within these stories, therefore concluding that going out to eat is a popular, mundane experience for us, to which I can attest to. Fans of comics often dislike the slice of life genre as they consider the lack of action boring and not worth their time reading. However, I think the opposite. I consider slice of life as homage to life and how, despite how all our stories are different, we all share the same experience of being human in the end.